Well, good morning. We are live here at 1 Million Cups. Happens most Wednesdays at Thinker Ventures. Got a full house today. How exciting. We have coffee courtesy of, and I don't even know, who's coffee courtesy of today? Members Alliance Credit Union. I don't see Diane here, but she is, her spirit is with us. No? Why is that funny? Spirit, it feels like she's no longer here? Nope, she's not in this space. But Diane's holding her own someplace. Master networker from Members Alliance Credit Union. If you are an individual and you're looking for a credit union, not a bank, talk to Diane at Members Alliance Credit Union. I've been corrected on that several times. All right. Well, good morning. If you don't know how 1 Million Cups runs, I'm going to tell you a little bit about 1 Million Cups. It was started several years ago by the Kauffman Foundation out of Kansas City. They created this 1 Million Cups platform. There are about 160 or so of these chapters nationwide. We all meet probably about 9 o'clock on Wednesday, and 50% of us drink coffee. And we talk about what it takes to be an entrepreneur and what it takes to be a small business owner. So think of it, I like to think of it, you can think of it however you like, but here's a thought. I think of it like a entrepreneur support group, right? So when do you get the opportunity to stand in front of your peers and say, here's the cool thing I'm working on, what do you think, and how can you help me? Or maybe, how can I help you? Plus, we have a good time networking, having fun, drinking free coffee. Next on the agenda is Catchbox, courtesy of City of Rockford, is here for our use. When you're speaking, when you're asking a question or you have an answer, make sure you have the Catchbox in front of you and you just hold it up to your face like this. I won't have it. You'll just talk into it, and then we'll be able to hear you on the live stream. All right? So, your first opportunity to speak is, do you know of any events happening in this area for small business owners or entrepreneurs or other people who want to get connected to the community? It's your opportunity. Here you go.
All right. I actually have two opportunities.
Two?
Yes, that's what I got for you
Two opportunities in one. No?
Two opportunities. Okay. They're both for State Line Chamber of Commerce out of the Roscoe, Rockton, South Beloit area. The first one is the State Line Business Expo is coming Saturday, March 7th. And Sunday, March 8th in the Hononegah Fieldhouse. Still, I believe, spots available to sign up and show off your wares and your business to the community at large. Should have a nice attendance there. It's the first time we're back at the Fieldhouse for a long time. And the second opportunity is more fun than networking, but you can always network. State Line Chamber of Commerce is doing a bingo night to raise money for a scholarship for a senior in the area to go to college. That is March 19th. At the VFW in Roscoe. Go to statelinechamber.com and you can get more information on any of those.
Awesome. Statelinechamber.com. Some cool things happening. Other things that you know about happening in the area. Oh, yeah. Throw the Catchbox. Boom.
Winnebago Local has their annual events, and one of them is a social media event. They have it all day. I think it's at Prairie Street Brew House maybe this year, and signups have already started, and from what I understand, it's over half filled. So if you're looking to go, it might be worthy to take a look. It's not happening for a while, but it is something that's a lot of fun, and a lot of people show up, and it's a good time to get some social media skills.
Winnebago by Local?
Yeah.
I was on the website and Facebook page last night. I didn't see any events.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you might want to double check.
Social Rock. Okay. So maybe
Yeah.
do a search for Social Rock. All right. So Winnebago Buy Local Social Rock Conference coming up sometime.
Hello. I just heard about this morning. The Sinisippi Golf Course is having a free event tonight from 5:30 to 9 at the Skybox Indoor Sports Center.
Oh.
That's all I know.
Cool. Yeah. Way up in the front. You can do it. Boom.
All right, I'm actually hosting Lunch and Learn on March 10th. It's Tuesday. It's on fueling your marketing, great content ideas for your social media. It is at the Carlson Ice Arena. It's $20, and we will be our tummies will be fueled by food by fuel, and then I'll fuel your brain with some great ideas. So you can sign up on my Facebook page at Cindy Rowe Marketing.
Food for your belly, food for your mind. Weigh in the. What am I supposed to do? Yes. Women of Today's Manufacturing is having an event tonight at Francesco's. You can go to WOTM tomorrow night. That's not. What's today? Today's Wednesday. 1 million cups happens every Wednesday. Yeah. All right. So Thursday night, which would be tomorrow. Don't be like me. Remember your dates. Tomorrow. Francesco's, you can sign up at WOTM Rockford. You don't have to be a woman to go. You can be a guy too. But if you're interested in women and career paths through manufacturing, attend that event. It's a scholarship dinner, so get your checkbook too and give to support people going into manufacturing. Other events in the area? Yes? No? All righty. Cool. Well, today, we'll get the catch box out for questions and answers later, but today we have Cindy Rowe. Now, this is an exciting time because Cindy has been with 1 Million Cups since the beginning when 1 Million Cups was not meeting here. And so she has some insights into 1 Million Cups and what it's become, and that's kind of exciting. But also, she's on her own journey. And today she's going to be talking about her journey in business and I think life and where she's coming from and where she is now. And then it's going to be your opportunity to support her in what she's talking about and doing in the area and to give to one another. Would you welcome Cindy Rowe to 1 Million Cups?
Woo-hoo! Come on! No. The fact that I am dressed and makeup on and hair done, and it's, 9:15? That's a score and a win for me. For those of you that don't know me, I am Cindy Rowe. I created my marketing business about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago. Stepped away from corporate after, I was in corporate America for well over 20 years. Mainly in the financial industry. I worked as a vice president of marketing for a bank for 12 years, survived the financial crisis, and decided I was done after that. But I always knew in my heart that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. My dad was an entrepreneur. He was a small business owner, and that always was a big dream of mine. I liked the freedom he had. Even though he didn't come to my sporting events, but we're not holding that against him. But I saw he worked really, really hard, and it brought a lot of good to our family. And I think I got a lot of my work ethic from him. But when I left the bank, I didn't actually realize I wanted my own marketing firm. I stumbled across a few other things, and people would comment like, wow, what you put on social media is awesome. Like, you have a way with words, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. And about a year of hearing that, I'm like, and missing the creativity part of my everyday job that I had, I decided that I was going to branch off and start my own consulting firm. I had actually started that a couple of years prior to retiring from corporate America. I say that because I'll never go back. But I tried it, and my spouse at the time did not like the idea that I was trying to start something that did not have steady income. And so we had that kind of riff, I guess, and so I kind of buried that. When I left the bank and stepped out and decided I was going full force in my own firm, I had his support and just dug in. And that was, like I said, 4 years ago. When 1 Million Cups started, I was asked to present then, and I think it was like 3 years ago. I was trying to figure this out last night, but I couldn't find it quick enough. But anyway, I was just starting out, and I was struggling of how to find clients. Where do I go? And I found the best benefit for me at that time was networking. And I put a lot of time and effort into networking, finding the right networking groups, learning how to network, learning how to not sell basically my services, but actually to get to know people and find out what their needs were, and maybe connecting other people with the new person that I just met. So not necessarily finding it self-serving for me, but self-serving for them. And through that process, and it takes a lot of time and energy and waiting, I just kept pushing forward. And over the years, my business steadily climbed. And I always, I guess, took the measurement of success as, did I have more work than I did last year? And it always seemed to be the case. And then I decided that any entrepreneur should really have some goals, set some goals. And I decided in 2018 that 2019 was going to be the year that I take my business to the next level. And I love educating. In fact, I went to school originally to become a teacher, and about, I think the end of my sophomore year, if those of you that know Dorothy Hamill, the ice skater, I always wanted to be her. I wasn't an ice skater, so don't let me confuse you on that. But a group of us in college went to an ice skating rink, and maybe if you come next week, I can show you my moves. No, we went to an ice skating rink, and I was showing them how you do a twirl, right? I am sure there's a fancy word for it, but as a twirl was my term. And this punk of a kid came and did a hockey stop and sprayed me with ice. And I was ticked. And I charged after him on my ice skates, and I stopped. And I'm like, I'm an elementary ed, major. This is my life for the next 30 years, of these little kids trying to push every button. I'm like, I can't do this. So I told my dad, I'm like, I think I am not going to be a teacher. And he's like, you should just go into business. You find something. I'm like, okay. So I changed my major to business, and then I went to my professor, counselor, whatever, advisor, and I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, what do you like to do? I'm like, I'm pretty creative. And so that's how I became a marketing major in college, and 25 years later, still doing it. And now I just totally lost my train of thought of where I was going with that whole story. Ugh. So, I'm sorry, goals. 2019 was the year for me. I had set, and educating, that's where I was going. Oh, squirrel. But educating was always something, a passion of mine. And the way I built my business is I wanted not only myself to help the small business owners, but maybe encourage them to do it themselves. So maybe not outsource me, but to provide them the resources and tools that they need to do the marketing themselves. A lot of small business owners, entrepreneurs, can't afford a marketing agency or even a consultant like me. So providing them tools and resources. So the end of 2018, my goal for 2019 was to host 3 educational series for small business owners. And the end of November, I was in a really bad car accident. November 28th, 2018. And I was in recovery most of 2019. As a small business owner, when you're in an accident or have a major life change, it can set you back. And I was grateful that I did not have a full-time job, because I probably would have been fired. I could have easily stopped my business and walked away and maybe got a part-time job. But I went to my current clients and I told them what had happened. In fact, I was actually on my way to a client meeting when I got in the car accident. And I told them, this is my capabilities right now, and I'm leaving it up to you if you want to fire me as your consultant or keep me on board. Not one of them let me go. And at that day, I knew that I had built my business with integrity and with heart, because they did not only care about their business, but they cared about mine. And they cared about me. And so the first part of 2019 was just trying to maintain what I had. And for me, my busiest time of the year is December, January, February, March. That's usually when I get all my business to set for the whole year. And I couldn't work. And basically, I couldn't really do anything. My couch got really comfy, and I couldn't look at the TV. I mean, it was a rough patch. But I focused on my doctor's appointments, on getting better. Come spring, I got released to pretty much do whatever I needed to do. And I made excuses. I got comfortable. And that, I think, some entrepreneurs, some small business owners get into that rut. And it was hard to wake up. I have bills to pay, so that was a big wake-up call. But I had a friend, talk to me. I had a good support group. But I vented. I'm like, I have these goals. I'm a very goal-driven person. I'm like, I have these goals. I'm supposed to do these workshops. And he's like, it's June. You have half a year. I'm like, I know, but they're going to take forever. So I was like, excuse. Plus, I have no new clients at all for the month of for the year of 2019. That's a scary situation to be in. So I'm like, all right. August, I sat down and I'm like, screw it. I'm going to put something on the calendar. I looked at a date, put it down. It was October 24th, I think. I was like, okay, I have 2 months. I can do this. And I did it. I set a goal to have a social media workshop for small business owners with 25 people in attendance. I exceeded that. I had 40. And in that presentation, I shared my story that I wanted to have 3. But I was okay with just having 1 because I did it. I got past my excuses. From that meeting, I had 3 people call me and say, we want to help you make your goal. You can use our facility. You can use our network. And by the end, I've got chills just right now. By the end of 2019, basically October 24th to December something, early December, I hosted 4 social media workshops for small business owners. So I exceeded my goals. From that, my business has catapulted. I can't even tell you the turnaround. A year ago today, I was laying on my couch in a pity party because my brain wasn't working and I wasn't working and had 0 new clients. But I was blessed because my clients didn't leave me, so I had some income coming in. Till now, where I'm at a crossroads of, do I hire somebody? Or I am torn because I have so much business coming my way. I just got a new client this week. I've had 4 new clients in the last month. It's a dream come true, and it's great growing pains, and I'm very, very uncomfortable, and it's very scary, but this is what I've worked hard for. All those networking, the way I built my business with integrity and making sure I do the right thing has brought me to this moment, and I think that's what I'm here to basically ask you guys, your input, like, what do I do now? Actually, I just got back from vacation, but right before my vacation, I put out to the universe, however you guys like to view things. But I said, I need my own office space. I work out of my home, which is cool. It's great. Like I said, I'm dressed, which is, but I get easily distracted. And now with all this workload, I just felt like I was not doing myself justice and maybe making the most professional decisions for my business and for my clients, because my dog was there, laundry, I saw the dishes, or maybe I need a snack. So there's a lot of distractions. So I put out in the universe, I think I need an office space. I'm moving in this week to an office space. So that's exciting, but I guess I don't know what the next pathway for me is as a small business owner. I've never visioned my business to be an agency. I love working with a small business owner. I love creating. I hate accounting, so I might outsource that. But I have this struggle of, do I stop taking clients? Or do I hire somebody to help me offload my creative stuff without losing my identity of my business? So the last 3 years since we started this 1 million cups, my business has changed dramatically, and it's exciting. And I don't know. I know it's probably time for questions. I can talk all day.
Let's give her a hand for her outstanding presentation. This is the essence, I think, of 1 million cups, a person who is on a journey and then comes at this crossroads and wants to throw it out to you all and ask, hey, here's where I'm at, where should I go? So kudos to you for being vulnerable and just sticking it out there to us. And I think, just like you threw out to the universe, hey, I want an office space, and you just kind of make it happen. I think we have that creative energy in all of us, that we can create the good things in our lives. We can also destroy things too, right? Something that's unique to the human race, the ability to create and to destroy. But I think on your journey, we've got some creative energy here too. You said bookkeeper. I know a bookkeeper. She's in the house. She's also one of the sponsors of 1 Million Cups. Calvary Bookkeeping. Well, here's your opportunity to engage here with Cindy. We're going to open up for general questions and answers. Make sure you use the catch box. Give her some advice, some encouragement. Ask your questions of them. Ask your questions of her, and let's see what we can make in this stew, this good stew. Here you go.
So I feel your pain, because it's myself and one other partner, a small agency, and it's the point, how much do you grow? Do you bring on additional people? Do you stay with where it is? Mm-hmm. I guess the question I would ask, of your current client base, how many of those are long-term? In other words, are they on a retainer that you're going to predict that they'll stay for like 1 or 2 years? Because honestly, most clients in the agency will stay 3-4 years and they move on.
Right.
Typically because someone at that company changes and they bring in their friends. So how much of it is renewable long-term work versus project-based work, and how can you move to getting those longer-term client relationships, those longer-term contracts, versus, I imagine are you hitting with like a lot of short-term, like 2 or 3 month projects? Is that what's, pushing you?
Most of my clients are a minimum of 6-month contracts. I have 2 on retainer for year contracts. So I know I'm pretty comfortable through the remainder of the year. But yeah, you don't know. Are they going to renew next year? Do they love me enough? I have the 4 clients that stayed with me during my accident. They renewed, no questions. I don't think they're going anywhere. And in fact, one of them, another local agency visited with them, and he heard them out, and he told me about it, and I'm like, that's cool, because you should. And they looked at my work and said, yeah, keep her. So I don't think they'll, at least those few people will leave me. But again, you don't know. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I definitely don't have anything past a 1-year commitment from any of my clients.
So their question, you're probably getting business because it's just you, and up to this date, you haven't had office overhead, so your overhead costs are fairly low.
Right.
How much, if you start adding people,
Right.
is that going to
I know that, and that's where,
add your
yeah.
costs, and is that thing gonna, is that
And can
gonna-
I give up control? And like,
that's-
what do you give up? You know, because my name is tied to it. And I think that's where, you know, my daughter, she's interning with me, helping me a little bit with some of my Instagram clients. And because she's good at it, and I could care less, you know, but I know it's being taken care of. But I need help maybe managing more of the creative side. And that's what it gets scary too. That's fun.
Right, it is. So I'm just wondering whether there are academic programs in the area where you could access interns, where you could actually be teaching the next generation, and not only teaching them skills for the business, the workplace, and for their field, but the leadership skills that you're talking about. Because what you're talking about, the integrity that you're talking about that you've built through your business, is something that they're going to inherit just by being in your space and working with you over a period of a semester. And then you're giving back to the future of the community, as well as assisting your business in that weird crunch time of,
Right.
do I bring people on? Outsourcing, I think, is probably the best way to do it. Look at the stuff in your upper left box and go, this is the stuff I'm hanging on to. And look at the stuff in the bottom right junk corner and offload it as fast as you possibly can, because really that's going to give you some space to not have the stress. I don't know about you, but the stress of finances, like, it's tax time, people. Like, it's just such
don't
a
even.
weight to carry around. And if you've got somebody who's doing your books all year for 2020, then tax time next year is so much easier. You don't even have to think about it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, off-source all of that stuff that you're thinking about. And because those folks, you can do the same thing that your people are doing with you. Yeah, I'll contract you with you for now. Maybe I can't do it again next year. Depends on where I am. But you're
Right.
going to be there next year too,
Yeah.
because you're building your business. You're not just working it from the couch. You're building it.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously I'm in the creative realm as well. How many things would you say that take up your time that aren't necessarily the creative things that you need to have your hands on?
That's
Or
a great
are there certain
question.
categories of creativity that you feel someone else could be up to your par on? Because I know that's a real struggle for people like us is,
Yeah.
well, if it's not my creative hands touching it, is it really genuinely, what we're offering,
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm going to have to ponder that. Honestly,
Maybe sit down and track your time for a couple weeks and be like, this is where I'm actually putting time, and what's something I could trust someone else
To
to
do.
eat up that time.
That's good. Yeah. Thank you.
While we're transitioning the catch box, we've got a question from an online individual. Sounds like you're ready for an admin assistant. Field calls, manage your schedule, possibly do some accounting. So that was just some input for you.
That's good.
As with any employee, when you're going to be hiring, before you hire somebody, you may want to write down what the job expectations would be so that you know what you're actually looking for, or like they had said, do you want to outsource what you think you're looking for? But if you don't have what the expectations are before you start hiring somebody, you're not going to be helping yourself
Yeah, that's true.
from experience.
Thank you.
Another one, I'm assuming you have like a set of core values that you live by for your company?
Definitely not written down, but they're here.
Okay.
Yes.
I would really make it a point to write those down, because if you're going to start hiring people or anyone, that's kind of the model. They have to know where you're going, what track, and then how to hold them accountable is going to be very, you talked about integrity, and that's probably going to be a core value. That's something they need to see and visualize and
Yeah.
understand that you don't go beyond that realm. So it's going to be tricky once you start, dealing with staff members.
I like that idea. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm a control freak just like you. And what? It's really hard to let go. It really is. one of my biggest challenges was to decide to hire. And it has continued to be one of my biggest challenges today. But if you find the right people, you need to decide, do I want to grow? Am I going to continue to build? And if the answer is yes, then you have to hire. And then just don't give up on those things that you're looking for in an employee. So again, not just write down core values. In my, what are you looking for in a good employee? And then you have to think about what kind of a boss you want to be. And make sure that you really focus on those things about what it is that you want to be. And I have on my phone as a reminder, and it just sounds like you have a lot of fear. Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. And this sets your soul on fire. So you just go after it with everything that you have.
Thank you. I love that.
I have an event that's coming up. I don't have it, it's not my event, but I have an event that I'm aware of that's coming up called Leading with Heart. It's an HR conference in Beloit. It's a week from Monday, March 3rd. It's on Eventbrite, Leading with Heart, and it's heart is the H and the R are both capitalized because it's a focus on HR and leadership and hiring and all of the concepts. But anyway, it's on Meetup if anybody's interested in looking at it. And like I said, it's in Beloit at the Velvet Buffalo. It's an all day with lunch and I think breakfast included.
That's great. Thank you. Anybody else? Well, you guys gave me a lot to think about. I think I like the idea of offering it to somebody that, maybe a college student, and so I can mentor. That's a big part of my heart as well, and probably why I love doing some of the coaching and some of the teachings. I guess legally, to get an intern, to do intern, or to start having an employee, those are things that I'm unclear of. Who do I go out to talk about that? I don't want to hurt anybody.
I've done that. I've done the intern thing and I've done the non-intern thing. I just went to the local colleges and asked if, here's what I'm doing. This is my local business. Is there a way that I can come in and maybe talk to, do you have an intern program? And so they were glad to hook me up with the people that were in charge of the intern programs. I was able to go speak at Rockford University, and I've worked with 5 interns. And it looks like there's a Rockford University graduate that I've had for over a year. She's amazing and I love her. And she knows that. And I just brought on somebody else who looks like it's going to be a good fit. So
So you've had a good experience?
It has been, yeah. I mean, it's not always perfect, just like hiring, but it does help because they don't have all of the baggage that comes with, well, I already know how to do all of that. Right. And so sometimes pride gets in the way of people who've been in the business a whole lot longer, or they have their own agenda. So now you can pour into them what your agenda is and what your core values are, so that now they're doing it the way you want.
Great. Is there certain qualifications that the college is requiring of you to provide in order to be part of their intern program?
Well, there's paperwork. So they have you fill out paperwork and a letter that says, here's what you're going to have them do as a part of the internship.
Did you do paid or was it credit?
Well, they say that there's unpaid and paid, but nobody wants the unpaid.
Right.
So
that's what I figured.
Yeah. So,
thank you.
And perhaps the internship going that route would help determine if this is a good route for you as well.
Right.
How do you react with somebody else working in your office? The other thing is to answer some of your other questions. Maybe small business development might be a person to talk to there who could guide you.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
All right, we've got time for one more question.
I'm just curious, your current clientele, obviously you feel they stuck with you and you feel kind of compassionate about them. I'm just wondering, the old 80-20 rule that everybody throws out there and some people roll their eyes at, it might be good for you to look at your clientele that you have right now, decide, you know, where that margin that you're making off the clients, who's your clients that are time suckers, and who's actually your ideal client, and then write that and kind of figure out who your ideal look is and how you're trying to get clients, and start making sure that you say yes to the right people and no to the other people, because your growth might be kind of you know, sometimes, and especially in your business, marketing, you start saying yes to everyone because you're like, ooh, wow, that's another client, but it might not make you any margin at the end of the day. So start evaluating that and really get it down to a science.
That's a really valid point.
So.
I really feel like the most recent client I acquired might be a little bit more work than.
Yeah, it might not be worth it in the end. So.
Yeah, but you're right. It's like, how do you say no to it? And knowing that you can actually make an impact, and that's really what I want. I want to be able to help him. But yeah, I feel like it could be that way, and it's only been a few days.
Very sage advice. All right, well, let's give her another round of applause.
Thank you.
Let's all practice saying no. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Absolutely. The more successful you become, the more opportunities you have to say yes, and that's when it becomes important to learn to say no.
That's great.
Well, we do want to honor you with this fancy coffee mug.
Ooh, thank you.
Courtesy of 1 Million Cups and the Kauffman Foundation. Let's give her another hand. I love this presentation.
Thank you.
So vulnerable and open.
And I didn't cry, which.
Not, well,
Yeah.
it's true, you didn't. Were you worried? It was your moment, you were thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry? All right. Well, this is your opportunity to get connected with more people in this community. If you could, again, enjoy the free coffee there, and then courtesy of Members Alliance, and then also get connected with Cindy, help her out, and if you have any questions or things with her, or she's got questions for you, again, let's make this community and her organization better. All right?
Awesome.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.